AI builders never stop, and this week has been insane. People have built crazy simulations using AI and also really good video games. And the AI video industry is getting crazy. People have built short films that are really good looking, and we are going to cover all of that today. But first, let's begin with the AI games and simulations. So someone built this atomic model of Bohr, and I will link the creator in the description. So as you can see, the simulation of the atomic model of Bohr is really good looking. One would easily mistake it for a simulation built by a professional team, but it was actually built by Gemini 2.5 Pro. So in the simulation, there are 6 atoms, which the user can play with, and it also shows the atomic number, the atomic weight of the atom, selected by the user. And the circular motion of the atoms is really smooth, and the atoms actually interact with the nucleus, which is amazing. And the interaction between the atoms and the nucleus is completely amazing. And next up, we have this simulation. So this simulation is not a specific simulation of a real object, but is a simulation of complex geometric structures, which is really cool because it is really complex. The user is able to interact with these geometric objects using the mouse, which is a really good mechanism for people to understand these complex geometric structures, which is great. And the transformation of these geometric structures is insanely good. So this is a game that was completely created using AI. I don't know which AI model was used to create this game, but the creator of this game mentions that this game was created for Vibe Jam, which is a competition where the users give game submissions that were coded using AI. So I think that this is a mage type of game where the user has to clear obstacles and kill enemies to reach the destination and win the game. And I really like the firing animation that happens when the character is firing the gun. So people will easily mistake it for an indie game, which it is, but it is only coded using AI. And I really like the animations of the guns and the portals, and the background and the environment of the player is really great. The structure and model of the player is low poly and is really good looking. So the user is able to change guns, and different guns have different firing animations, which is a really cool detail. So there are also checkpoints in the game, so if you lose, you don't have to completely restart the game again, which is a really cool detail. So I like the movement of the enemy AI, and the model of the enemy AI is also really cool. So when the user changes the gun, there is a little animation, which I think is a really good thing. And there is also simulated fog in the environment, so the user cannot see past a certain distance. And it is crazy just to think that these kinds of games were not possible to be created using AI even 6 months ago. The growth rate of AI is exponentially increasing. So you need to start using AI as much as possible and integrate it into your workflow if you do not want to fall behind the world. We have this Minecraft clone that was completely built using the new Gemini 2.5 Pro. And the best thing about this game is that it actually works, and the player movement is really smooth, and the player can also place blocks, which is really good. And the game is not breaking when the player is running. And the trees and terrain generation are really similar to Minecraft, and the player can build using different blocks. So you can say that AI is able to build Minecraft from when it was first released. So it is really a cool project. And speaking of Gemini, people only think that Gemini 2.5 Pro is only good for coding, but it is much more than that. So now I'm going to show you another useful feature of Gemini that people don't talk about enough. So what you are going to do is just to come to the Google AI Studio, and from the model select Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental right here. And then what you can do is turn on this feature, grounding with Google search, and this will basically enable the AI to search using Google, which is really a solid feature. And people use Perplexity or Grok for searching using AI. But if you are broke like me, then Gemini is the best option. It is not only good because it is free, but also because it is the best option out there. You can just go to X and see a post like this and think what it is, then you can just copy it. Copy what is written here and paste it in Google Studio and ask, what is this? Let me just fix that and run the prompt. Gemini 2.5 Pro will think through what you have just said and get you a much better answer because it is a reasoning model, and it is the best reasoning model out there. So here it has broken down the X post that I have just given it. But I think this is not a good prompt because one can say that it might have the information about the AI influencers before even using Google. So therefore, I am going to give it a new prompt. So I'm just going to give it this prompt that somebody stop China. They're absolutely killing it. Mareka AI just launched Mareka 01, the first ever chain of thought AI music model, and if I want to know more about it, then I can just copy this and paste it in Gemini and run it. And this post was published around April 2025, so it is new. So I'm just going to run the prompt and see what Gemini gives in the response. So it has given me the response. So Mareka AI is an AI music platform. It appears to be developed by Slywork, a division of a Chinese technology company called Kunlun Tech, also known as Kunlun Wanwei. Kunlun Tech is a significant player, and so it is giving me all this information. Let's see, if I wanted to know how this specific AI model works, then what I would need to do is just ask it, explain how this AI model works, use simple language, and you can also basically mention the word count. So I'm going to just give it a word count of 10,000 words. So word count basically means the amount of words that it is going to write the information in. So this is the response that was generated by Gemini 2.5 Pro. So it actually gives the information on how the model works in simple language using 10,000 words. And I actually fact-checked the response, and it is completely right. So you don't even have to go around and use Google to find articles which use complex language, which you won't be able to understand. So basically you can just read it, and you will completely understand how the chain of thought or how a specific AI model or anything works if that information is present on the internet. So it is a really cool feature, and I think that Gemini 2.5 Pro is also the best AI model in terms of searching the internet and finding true information. Anyway, let's get back to the AI games. So this is another third-person shooter AI game that was created for Vive Jam. So here, I think it is like a horror game where the player needs to kill a monster and escape the house. But I don't really like the animation of the guns. I really liked the animation of the previous game for Vive Jam that I have shown you. But still, the model of the gun is really good, and the running animation of the player is also great. And you should just remember that this game was not built by a professional. This game was built by a normal person using AI. And when the player kills the enemy, there is also a death animation of the enemy, which I think is really cool. Let's now move on to short films. So ever since Runway Gen 4 dropped, people are going crazy building short films using Runway Gen 4. So we are going to take a look at those. So first, we have this movie of this cute little astronaut who is exploring a barren planet. And he is unable to find any type of life here. And then he finds a single flower, which he picks up. And then it vanishes. So although there were no talking characters in the short film, the movie is still really good given that there is no distortion of the background or the character. So I think that this is a great movie. But this is a short movie that we really need to talk about, because this guy right here is an actual person who created this short film, and he used his own face for this character. And he also used Runway to create this film. So we can basically see different shots of the same character doing different things. You might think, what is the interesting thing about this? But the most interesting thing about this is that in the future, you will be able to make your own movie, and the movie animation quality of these AI models will become better and better. So you will be able to create your own movie for really cheap, and you will be able to give the main character of your movie your own face. Just imagine a future where you will be able to create your own movies, where you are the main character. You can do whatever you want in your movie. You can make yourself the king of the world, so to say, in the movie, of course. And before ending this video, I just wanted to show you this short film created completely using AI. And this is the best short film that I have ever seen, so let's see it.
Together, we built a new future where natural and artificial minds collaborated. Earth was in harmony. But above the skies is where we became limitless. Luna was the first site for large-scale space engineering. It was from here we pushed onward. On the red soil, we built our first interplanetary city. New Olympus. Slowly, the essence of Earth took root. Mars was now our second home.
Have a lovely night.
In the asteroid belt, we tapped into nearly infinite material. we rose above the acid clouds of Venus, proving the harshest worlds could be reimagined. Callisto linked the moons of Jupiter, and with time, I emerged as a thinking city. Our path was no longer found. It was made. "40 kilometers beneath Europa's surface, the silence broke. On Io, we learned to channel the chaos. And some worlds were not found. They were built. Who knows where we'll go, or what will become? The rest lies beyond.